The time has finally come for me to actually install some legitimate mods on my 135i, and I figured what better place to start than with this right here. That's right, throwing on some coilovers. In my last video, I had the pleasure of driving some fantastic roads, and that trip brought to my attention the fact that my 135i suspension is shot. I was having just so much body roll. While actually the cornering abilities are surprisingly good for how much body roll there is, it just doesn't meet the expectation whenever it comes to my preference of how it feels to corner. So I went ahead and ordered some XTA coilovers. They're really popular on this platform. I know a couple guys that are already running them on their 135is, as well as all over the forums, people are running these. So the main guy that did put me over the edge was Robert Purvis and his buddy 2 Euro. So shout out to you guys. If it weren't for you guys, I probably would have gone with the BCs, went with the STs instead. The STs come in at around 1,400 bucks, but I actually bought mine for a little bit under $1,000 from ARM Motorsports because they were parting out their shop car. So super stoked on that. The coilovers are barely used. I mean, they literally look new. So big discount, I will take it. So in this video, I'm gonna throw them on the 135 and then go for a test drive and see how I like them, and then let you know if you ought to get some yourself. This is where I came to. It's I'd say it's like only a tad lower than stock. I'm not a hot boy or anything, so I'm not trying to run, you know, stance fitment, but dude, I don't know how many times I had the car up and down adjusting the height. That was not fun, but let's go for a test drive. Oh my God. I mean, it really isn't even that harsh of a ride. Here, we're coming up on a bump here. I mean, that's not bad. It's definitely firmer than it was, but it's not like uncomfortable. You know what I mean? This bump up here is really bad. Let's see how it feels. Oh my gosh. Okay, I mean, That wasn't bad though. I feel like the bumps are a lot better controlled. Oh my gosh, it's so much more confidence inspiring. Like, I think I'm gonna have to kind of recalibrate, you know, like for the corners, because I am definitely not getting the most out of it. Compared to what I'm used to, I can tell that I can definitely take corners faster than before. It's just so flat. Obviously, it's hard to explain exactly what it feels like to somebody that's just watching a video. So I'm sorry that, you know, that you can't be sitting right here in the passenger seat with me. Hopefully you still get a sense of just how good these coilovers are, especially considering that they're only $1,400. I mean, I'm not a coilover snob by any means, but I couldn't imagine it being much better than this. I mean, obviously you can get better. There's crazy systems out there, but seriously, I could be taking these corners so much faster. I mean, it just feels so comfy though. Like, taking them at 80%, it just feels so easy. Whereas before, going that speed felt like a chore because of the fact that it had so much body roll. Man, well, I mean, just what a difference. Like, I think I've talked about it before on the channel. Obviously, this it's a sports car, so to speak, but it's just not refined because it wasn't meant to be an M car. It was meant to be a daily driver. And really, my goal with it is to make it as good as possible. And I would love to surpass an M car level of handling. Already, this is like halfway there. Like, I would say is what it feels like, is halfway there. So obviously I have several other modifications to do to get it to M car level, but this is a huge first step and I am so excited. These coilovers are awesome. So highly recommend the XTAs, especially if you have a 1 Series. All right, so it's been a couple weeks since I installed the coilovers. I wanted to wait a little bit before I gave my final thoughts on them because, you know, the first test drive doesn't tell the whole story. So I've been daily driving the car for several weeks now, and I have to say they are really good. For the price, I mean, I know that they're not the best you can get, okay? Like Olin's Road and Track probably would be the dream setup, right? But as far as a good set of coilovers that is still on the affordable side for people like me that have to save up every time they want to buy car parts, I'd say it's a really great option. Now, I have driven cars with BC coilovers before, and I would say that BCs are still a good option if you're looking at those and you'd rather spend, I think, what are they, like $1,200 instead of $1,400. If you want to save a couple $100, that's up to you. As far as this car goes, the STs are probably a little bit better than the BCs because the damping is just a little bit more supple, I would say, on the STs. As far as like comfort goes, I really don't feel like the quality of ride has decreased that much. It is definitely a little bit firmer, which that's partially due to the settings that I have on it. The front I have set to right in the middle, and the back I have set to about 75% hard. And the reason for that is because I wanted to get my fitment a little bit more dialed in, but in doing so, I was rubbing a little bit, and so I needed the suspension to be a little bit stiffer to keep my tires from rubbing. And I will go ahead and put my specs for my wheels and tires in the description so you can see what I'm running, so you know whether or not what you have might work. But as far as ride quality, I have to say it's not terrible. My wife has even driven the car a couple times, and she hasn't mentioned anything to me like, hey, what's up with how harsh your suspension is? So that's good. And as far as the body roll goes, I mean, there's hardly any. It's really good. The car feels a lot more planted in corners, which it doesn't feel fantastic still because I still have a lot of work to do as far as, especially with the rear end and then of course the front control arms. So stay tuned for future episodes. I am planning on converting this completely to the M3 setup as far as control arms and bushings go. That's really going to help a lot. But as far as, you know, incremental steps, this got me like, you know, if this is where I want to be, this is where I am. This got me to like there, you know what I mean? So I would say that if you are looking into the STs, that they are a great bang for buck option, especially considering that they're fully adjustable damping and ride height. You really can't ask for a whole lot more than that. Obviously, rebound would be nice to be able to dial in, but that's, you know, some high dollar technology. So as far as a good quality budget coilover, I'd say that the XTAs are really good, and I would definitely recommend them if you're looking into them. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please do give me a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe if you're interested in seeing what else I end up doing with this car. I guess I'll see you in the next one. Keep joyriding.